Hey guys, Thogden here, and welcome back to GW22 predictions. Thogdad, how are we doing?
Yeah, thanks for asking, Theo. The scores on the doors are Thogden 8 points, Thogdad 5 points. I'm having a Tottenham Hotspur of a season in predictions, and the rumours are I'm going to be fired and replaced by Cal the Dragon in the next couple of weeks.
I'm winning, I always am. I'm doing a lot of winning right now, so are Morocco. That's why we're in Morocco. AFCON final coming up, watch that on the main channel soon. The first match is
Manchester United against Manchester City. Is 7th against 2nd. It's the Reds against the Blues. It's the Manchester derby, one of the biggest derbies in world football. But these are two teams who've drawn the last 3 Premier League games. They are dropping points. Now, Manchester United, Benjamin Šeško got his brace against Burnley, but it wasn't enough. And now Michael Carrick is in charge. He's in the managerial hot seat. Good luck to him. And you've got the likes of Mbomo and Diallo coming back from AFCON. Manchester City, what can you say? They have dropped points recently. They're now, I think, 6 points behind Arsenal, but they're unbeaten in 13 games. I reckon Theo might go for a draw here, but I'm sorry, I've just got to go with City to win 2-1.
Manchester United versus Man City. The Manchester derby, early kickoff, the first Manchester derby in quite a while that there isn't actually a proper manager for one, and the other, Manchester City, who might lose their manager soon, but will he end it on a high? That is what we're finding out. Pep Guardiola against Michael Carrick currently, which is now his first permanent, well, I don't know if he's the permanent manager, but it's his first match, and it's not going to be an easy one because Manchester City have some incredible players. We already know about Haaland and Doku, but that front line with Semenyo now just means everyone is better. Haaland's worried about the goal tally being chased by Semenyo too. They just look, it fits, it works, and this is the first real test. It's all well and good doing it in the FA Cup or doing it against Premier League opponents that aren't so strong, but this, Man United, they won't want to give up loads of goals at Old Trafford. Absolutely no. But if they do it, it shows you how strong Man City are, and they will keep pushing Arsenal till the end of the Premier League for that title. They will be hungry now. They made the right business, so that will credit Manchester City's board where the credit is due. So I'm only going to go one way. I don't want to say anything about United. I think Michael Carrick's going to be cooked. I can't tell you any solid player in this United squad that I'm excited about. Of course, the likes of Bruno Fernandes is great, but he can't do it all on his own. I'm going to go for a 3-0 battering. Manchester City are going to win 3-0.
Sunderland against Crystal Palace is 10th against 13th. Two teams struggling a little bit in recent weeks. Now, that might be a little harsh on Sunderland. They are the draw specialists of the league with 9 draws, including 4 draws in the last 5 games, but the other game away at Brentford, they were absolutely smashed. But this week they've got a bunch of returnees from AFCON, and they're playing a Crystal Palace team who've got 2 points in the last 6 games, and embarrassingly they were dumped out of the FA Cup by lowly Macclesfield, the Mac lads, and that is the biggest shock in the history of the FA Cup, and it is terrible for the confidence of Crystal Palace. This is going to be low scoring. Sunderland 1, Crystal Palace 0.
Sunderland against Crystal Palace now. This is a match which I'm excited for. There's been a Premier League break because of the FA Cup, and away Sunderland went, and they won again. They're doing a lot of winning right now, aren't they? For Crystal Palace, a very different story. We won't bring up the fact they lost to Macclesfield. Yeah, they lost to Macclesfield. Crazy. And they were dominated. Macclesfield scored first, scored again, and then Palace got a goal very late on, which didn't even end up counting to anything. They lost in the FA Cup. What a story that is. So shout out to all the Town fans. If there are any watching this video, comment down below. But it's going to be difficult for Palace going to Sunderland, and therefore I favour Sunderland massively. They're at home. They've got a solid team. Of course, they've had a few hiccups recently. The results is not quite the purple patch they had at the start of the season, but I'm still going to I don't know what I'm going to go for here. I know my dad has said Sunderland 1-0, so I'm just going to be different and say a 1-1 draw. Sunderland 1, Crystal Palace 1.
Chelsea versus Brentford is 8th against 5th. It's a tasty London derby between two teams with very differing forms. Chelsea, 3 points from 5 games. They are slipping down the league, and Cucurella got himself sent off last week, so he's going to miss this game, presumably. Whereas Brentford, the only team that can match their form over 5 games, is Arsenal. 13 points in 5 games. Igor Thiago is on fire. But having said all that, I've got a feeling that Chelsea can click into gear here. Now, they were good yesterday against Arsenal. They battled hard to come back. Only lost 3-2 in that semi-final. I just think Chelsea are due a win at home, 2-1.
Chelsea versus Brentford. This is a big dog. And Brentford are higher in the table, and Chelsea have just sacked their manager. It's actually the first Premier League match for Liam Rossignol. I mean, surely we favour Brentford as a favourite. Am I crazy for saying that? Because they're higher in the table. They're on an absolutely great run, FA Cup and Premier League. They've won like 6 in a row. Keith Andrews Andrews is flying. Not quite the winning he did for Bolton as a player, but we'll give him the respect he's done and earned for Brentford. And the Bees fans are very excited. They'll be turning up or staying in West London, excited in this clash. But Liam Rosenior has rested one man who will be lethal in this game, and that's called Cole Palmer. He didn't play in the Arsenal Cup game, which of course they lost 3-2. And it was quite unfortunate they conceded early in that match, because that sort of led the tone of the game. They fought back well. Garnacho scored brace, and maybe he could continue his form against Brentford. So they're staying at the Bridge. I don't know if they're going to win. I feel like a high-scoring draw is a likely outcome in this sort of match. Chelsea 2, Brentford 2.
Liverpool against Burnley is 4th against 19th. It's a Lancashire derby between two teams at opposite ends of the table. Now, Liverpool have been good but not great in recent weeks. They find themselves 8 points behind Aston Villa, but Mo Salah, he will be back soon from AFCON. I assume he's going to play in that 3rd against 4th playoff, but then he'll be back. Connor Bradley, very sorry to hear that he's out for the season. Gabriel Martinelli, you messed up there, but well done for apologising. We move on. Connor Bradley, a great player and a wonderful servant when he was at Bolton Wanderers. But Burnley, 12 Premier League games without a win. They are 8 points from safety, and it's looking a bit grim. But the problem with Liverpool this season, at times, and we saw this in the Leeds game, they are not destroying opponents from the bottom end of the table. So this isn't a foregone conclusion, but I think they do it. Liverpool 2, Burnley 0.
Over to Anfield. Yes, it's been a little bit patchy recently for Liverpool. The form hasn't been great, but that battering they gave Barnsley and that Dominic Szoboszlai goal, what a finish that was. Should have celebrated a little bit more, you know. As Haaland said in his story, you got to enjoy it. But having said all that, Liverpool, they need to get back into winning ways. Mo Salah is arriving back to the camp. I don't think he'll be here. He'll probably take a little bit of a rest after his time away in Morocco. Had a great time at Agadir, and they were unfortunate not to get to the final in the end, that Senegal 1-0 game, but Egypt were playing anti-football. They needed to bring Salah into the game a bit more. And will Liverpool bring Salah into the game? I don't think for a few weeks. They'll be playing without him. It'll be about Ikitiki. It will be about Gakpo. Obviously not Isak because he's injured. But there's enough. We've seen that Liverpool are, you know, they've got a team there. They've got the players they just about need to come away with a win. That's why I'm going to predict them to win by 2-0 against Burnley. I'll be honest, Scott Parker has had a few good results recently. Let's not forget that win in the FA Cup, big home win against worse opposition, but, you know, a win's a win. And that solid draw in the Premier League last out for Burnley. That, you know, am I going to back them though at Anfield? No. I think this is a great opportunity to onslaught and the fans to feel that connection, feel what the Reds are all about. Home win, 2-0.
Tottenham Hotspur against West Ham United is 14th against 18th. It's another London derby, and this time between two teams who are seriously underperforming. Now Spurs, 1 win in 6 games. They have got the 17th worst home record in the league. But last night I was in the pub and a Spurs fan reckons that his team will finish 5th this season, and he bet me a pint that Spurs will get back into Europe. Now I take his point to some degree, because if you look at the league between 5th and 15th, it is very, very tight. And we saw what happened with Brentford. They've started winning and suddenly they are 5th. So it's not impossible. But I watch Spurs play and they do not look good. They do not look threatening. I don't get the way that they are playing. And Thomas Frank, surely his job must be in doubt. But what a time to play West Ham. They have not won in the last 10 games. They are 7 points from safety. They've got the worst defensive record in the league. So Spurs, you absolutely have to win this one. And I think they will. 1-0.
Tottenham West Ham. Wow, this is the game where someone ends up singing their name, gets battered everywhere they go. But the question is, which team will be singing at the end? Because the last time they faced, it was Tottenham 4, West Ham 1. So you can imagine what Tottenham was singing to the away section. But let's not forget the other side to that. West Ham, very bad form. Tottenham at home, not 1 and 3 at home. Someone has to win this game or draw. That's actually a likely outcome, because Nuno will want to make this as difficult as possible. And he's got a secret weapon, a new striker from Argentina. They actually signed him from Udinese in January, Castellano. Question is, will he be the difference in this Tottenham game? Well, if they want to win, they can win. If they want to draw, they can draw. This is a very possible outcome against a weakened, you know, high pressure moment for Thomas Frank. How many more losses and draws can they take before he gets it called the day? You know, what sort of business are they doing that will change their season? That's why I want to ask the Tottenham board. I think there's a lot of questions you can ask the Tottenham board. I think even Tottenham fans want to do that. But having said all that, I just think this is two teams on very bad form. And I think overall, the quality on the pitch is slightly better on the Tottenham side. So I feel like I want to go 2-1 Tottenham, which is crazy to say, but I'm going to do it.
Leeds United against Fulham is 16th against 9th, and I'm hoping that both these sides have some very happy sets of fans, because Leeds United went 7 games undefeated in the Premier League, and then they faced Newcastle. They led 3 times, and dramatically, Harvey Barnes in the 102nd minute got the winner. But Fulham, 14 points in 6 games. They are absolutely gunning for Europe, and the likes of Jimenez and Wilson are absolutely on fire. This is a really hard game to call, so I'm just going to sit on the fence. A 1-1 draw.
Leeds Fulham, what a classic this is. You've got Leeds high scoring, flying, doing pretty well. They've had their occasional losses too, but Fulham have been amazing. No Iwobi, no Bassi, no Chukwueze, who missed the pen against Morocco last night. But let's just imagine how good they could be with the form they're on and adding the Nigerians back to the team. So I think this is a great outcome potentially for the lads over in Fulham. Will they go to Leeds and get a result? I mean, that's a question that a lot of people haven't done. Leeds fought well against Newcastle, leading the game at one stage and unfortunately bottled it late on. That 4-3 was one of the best Premier League matches I've seen in a while. I watched that on Sky Go and I was just, oh, another goal. It was just incredible. But I just think that Leeds, they seem to take the lead and do well. Lead. See what I did that? But then Fulham will find a way. They just will find a way. They'll get into the game, whether it'll be Harry Wilson on his flying form, Raul Jimenez, who seems to pop up when need be. I just think this game's going to end a draw. I'm going for a lot of draws this week. Maybe I've lost my head a little bit after watching a Morocco-Nigeria 90-minute draw last night. Go watch that on the main channel. I'm going to go for a 2-2 here. I can see a late equaliser from the home team. I think actually Fulham will go 2-1 up and then Leeds score in like the 87th minute. Aronson, he loves it.
Nottingham Forest against Arsenal is 17th against 1st. This is a really important game for different reasons for both of these clubs. Now, Forest went to the City of London Stadium and got a dramatic late comeback winner. That is huge for their league position. That is huge for their morale. So they go into this game, they expect to lose, but you know what? On their day, Forest can surprise. And they're playing an Arsenal team who dropped points to Liverpool last week, but there again, all of the big 4 dropped 2 points. You look at Arsenal's away record, they've won the last 5 in all competitions. I think this is going to be Forest 0, Arsenal 2.
Nottingham Forest versus Arsenal at the City ground. Sean Dyche has got a very tough job. Well, Arsenal have been winning in the Cup, in the Prem, top of the table. Could they win a double or a treble under Arteta this season? From no trophies to everything. That would be an amazing story. Then there's Forest, who are really trying to turn around their form, and they did so well to get that recent away win, which I actually predicted them to do. So look, can Forest keep winning? No, not in this game. Sean Dyche will make it hard. It probably won't be a battering, but I think eventually Arsenal will find a way through, whether it's Trossard or whether it's Gyökeres, who looked very good against Chelsea with the goal and the assist. Yeah, I actually think Gyökeres will score again in this game. I'll give him 1 goal, and I think Arsenal are going to win 0-2 because it's the away game, stay top of the table.
Wolverhampton Wanderers against Newcastle United is 20th against 6th. It is bottom of the league versus a team who is trying to get into the Champions League. Now, Wolves, 5 points in 3 games, unbeaten in 3. That is good for morale, but they need to keep winning. They're praying for a miracle, and the only way for them to stay up is to win, let's say, 4 of the next 5, and then to do that again. A draw here is not good enough, but Newcastle, they are the only team in this league to win the last 3 games, and we mentioned Harvey Barnes earlier, and the likes of him and Bruno Guimaraes and Joe Linton are playing some wonderful football at the moment. I reckon this will be close. Theo might go for a 1-1 draw here, but I'm going to go Wolves 1, the Geordies 2.
And we're staying in that Midlands area, aren't we, for the next match? Wolverhampton Wanderers against Newcastle. Now, Wolves have started 2026. They've completely leaped their form. They feel fresh on the new calendar year. It's unbelievable. They've scored 10 goals in 3 games. 6 of them, I think, came in their last FA Cup game, but they got 4 points in 2 matches in the last Prem as well. They're just smashing it. Everyone's loving life. They've got that new lad. I think he's called Mane. Could be wrong with that. He's brilliant. I watched him. He's got great energy, great fight. He's coming to them in the right time. I love that player. And then Newcastle, they lost to City. They usually do lose to City. I mean, most people do. 2-0. They got Semenyo'd, really. But I think they will bounce back. I think this is a step too far for the Wolf Pack. Newcastle are going to win this away 2-1 at the Molineux. I think it'll be like a Anthony Gordon winner or something. They'll just find a way. They got Wissa, they got pace, they got great players. Bruno Guimaraes, Joe Linton in recent matches have been excellent driving through. I saw in the Leeds game, just thriving, making the most of it, scoring goals and keeping that team so strong. So yeah, the Toon or 3 points.
Aston Villa against Everton is 3rd against 12th. It's two of the most historic teams in English and world football. Now, Aston Villa, what can we say? 11 home wins in a row. And talking of wins, that is the only result that they need here. And they're playing an Everton team who dropped points to Wolverhampton Wanderers. Michael Keane sent off. Jack Grealish stupidly. This will be a comfortable home win. Villa 2, Everton 0.
And we're in the Midlands again here. Aston Villa at home to Everton. A fixture that, well, Villa, they've won again. FA Cup. Away, they just win games. That's what Villa do. They find you and they take away not 3 points in the cup. They seem to win. That's what Unai Emery is doing. A lot of winning right now. If you actually look at their home form, they're the specialists of a 2-1 or a 3-1. So bear that in mind for your prediction. I don't know if Thogden's going to go with that, but could be on the right cards because Everton are missing all their Africa lads like Iliman and Dye, of course, because Senegal were in the final. Ghana Gay, because Senegal were in the final again. No Grealish, no Michael Keane because of the red cards in the last games. Very bad against Wolves that in their draw. So I can only favour one team. It's a very simple way to predict it. Villa are going to win, probably not by 1, by 2 goals. I did mention earlier that they're a specialist of winning, but also conceding a goal. So 3-1. 3-1 to Aston Villa. That's my prediction.
Brighton and Hove Albion against AFC Bournemouth is 11th against 15th. It's the battle of the South Coast. Now, Brighton went to the City of Manchester Stadium last week and got a cracking point. They're on the home turf here, and their home record is excellent. The only team they lose to these days is Aston Villa. But they're playing a Bournemouth team who got a good win against Spurs last week and are playing some really nice football despite getting some poor results. But Semenyo, can you believe it? He scored last week, scored the winner last week against Spurs. He's now gone to Man City. He's played twice for Man City and scored twice. What a week he has had. So you've got to go here for the home team. And I'm going to go Brighton 2, Bournemouth 1. And that's all from me in London. Theo, keep having an amazing time in your adopted home of Morocco. Enjoy the final and let's hope that Morocco win. No offence, Theo. See you on Monday. It's your round.
And finally, we end it down on the South Coast. What can I predict to get ahead of Thogden? Because of course I am winning on the points, and it's Brighton against Bournemouth, a south of the coast, a beach scrap, shall we say, in the sandbanks, or maybe nearer the Hove, shall we say, because Amex they'll be very happy, the fans of the Amex Stadium, because they've gone away to both Manchester side, City and United, and they've won one and drawn the other. Of course, that win was in the cup, but that's 2 amazing results at the Etihad and Old Trafford. So the Brighton fans, you might as well just have booked a hotel in Manchester and made a trip of it and stayed for both of those. But Gruda, is he the new GOAT? That goal and assist in the United Stadium to come away with the win. Maybe he deserves 90 minutes to cook Bournemouth. But the way, Fabian Hatzerla has set this team out, it just gives me the confidence that Brighton are going to win again and they'll find a way, especially with Bournemouth lacking no Semenyo. It's a real transition period in January. They need to replace him. They haven't properly yet. Krupi might save the day with a goal, but I think Brighton win this game. I'm actually not going to predict them a goal. I'm going to say Brighton 2, Bournemouth 0. I'm sorry. Come for me. Look at the form. The Seagulls are winning down in the south. Thank you, Thogden, for your predictions. It's good that we go different a little bit because I want to stay top of the table. I want to keep beating you. This is the week of the draws. Comment down below what scores you think will happen and enjoy Game Week 22 Premier League. Subscribe. Go watch the Morocco content on the main channel. See you in a bit. Bye-bye.